Hi, my family. How una dey do? I hope una all dey do fine. Well, we get an update concern about this toll gate issue. Today, Parliament begin session again for talk about this toll gate matter. When the session dey start, the opposition leader of Parliament, Wena Abdul Kabo, he talk. He commend the speaker and the leader of government business for allow for let them bring that particular proposal na Parliament, because the bill na Parliament na they be passed that law and they be make that bill. So any proposal wey minister and cabinet they do, they need for bring her back na Parliament, and he commend that way they count na Parliament for let they can talk about them and look fine one waiting at the better way they for do. Then after we the opposition leader of Parliament when he talk, the second person will talk na the leader of government business wey na Mr. Martin Numa. Instead talk, he highlight some of the thing there wey e dey na the clause wey meaning the law wey they be passed. The yesterday Parliament, the one that will be there before wey they pass this particular toll gate law. He highlight some of it. He say they are aware, but then thing anyway they be done pass. But since the Parliament be done do that, where government and continuity, then we can look into, and he highlight say where then in a Parliament, then they there for represent the people. So they got for deal with this particular matter better way. We go reflect on the people. Then the closure, the Honorable Speaker of Parliament, when Dr. Abbas Bundu, he talk, now he close the session. So now we dey wait and waiting at the outcome we commodity. Then number two, the driver senior, the proposal bill where they make, we want for know, waiting at the bill, waiting down the fees where they put where they can go. If Parliament go accept, or if they will make addition, or they will do reduction, we want for know that way. So you wait they watch me, don't go far and they can't play. So you self go listen for yourself this session. Done. Please like my video, comment, share, make a know side they watch me from. This now the program for the people. So people they need for inform and know what they happen in the country. So me when they bring the program to you, me na Muse the blogger. Thank you for watching me and watch the video so that you will learn exactly what happened at Parliament today. So I'll see you in the next video.
Must not be changed without the approval of this Parliament. That shows that the Parliament is very important, and the Parliament is the key stakeholder in any decision making, especially when it comes to reviewing prices that was passed by this Parliament. So once more, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank you and I want to assure you of our total commitment in making this happen. So, Mr. Leader of Government Business, if you gave me an opportunity to say one or two before you, this is what I have to say.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. As I said, I want to borrow some of the words from you. That there are categories that we need to take into consideration seriously as a state, because we cannot go back trying to undo things not the appropriate way. So there are three interest areas that I want to draw the attention of my colleagues. As said by my honorable colleague on the other side, honorable leader of the opposition. Into consideration, we have to look at the state. Into consideration, we have to look at the people. Into consideration, we have to look at the investors. We have an existing agreement and a sovereign agreement too. We cannot just put it under the table. But as a nation, we have to pay attention to the three categories I've stated. And Mr. Speaker said, we are only here because of our people. And we can only progress as a state to talk about very good economy if we encourage the investors and the state to carry out the policies. So, Mr. Minister, we want one other category of the state. We want to say thank you for considering us to bring your agreement for us to review. But, Mr. Speaker, in as much as you have put them in abeyance, that is the Speaker's ruling, which cannot be challenged in the chamber. I want to entreat my colleagues in going back to the Constitution why we do ratify these documents. Section 40, subsection 4, Mr. Speaker, with your leave, I just want to read that paragraph. It's long, but I will just read a section of it. If you have a constitution, take a look. Provided that below the category they have stated, the last paragraph under section 44, provided that any treaty, agreement, or convention executed by or under the authority of the president, which relates to any matter within the legislative competency of Parliament, or which in any way alters the laws of Sierra Leone, or imposes any charge on or authorities any expenditure out of the consolidated fund or any other fund of the Sierra Leone, and any declaration of war made by the president shall be subject to the ratification by Parliament, by an act of Parliament, or two, by a resolution supported by the vote of not less than 1/2 of the members of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, you know that there are so much authority given to Parliament. We are not trying to exacerbate our authority. We are trying to work within the authority given to Parliament. And we are also not trying to misuse the authority. As I said, the rule is final. So, we seek to ratify these documents comes to Parliament because of this provision in the Constitution. We want the public to note that. So, we are happy to take a cue from you. What Honorable Abukabu said, any alteration must come to Parliament for ratification. And already, in the wisdom of the minister, something has been altered. The charge that was levied in 10, Article 10, Mr. Minister, right? That's talking about the different categories. They have agreed to alter them. As he said, Mr. Speaker, you want to say thanks to the minister for thinking in a positive direction, in the trajectory that all of us must be on the same page in the interest of the state. That is where we have decided to stick these moves. There are so many allegations, Mr. Speaker. We prove some of them that are not true when we are at the committee stage, when we are having stakeholder meetings. Some we are not actually followed by the dictates of the agreement. We ignore, Mr. Minister, some of the text, our obligations expressly stated in the agreement. But I want to say thank you for you drawing our attention to the agreement when you are making your presentation. I also want to draw the attention of colleagues, those who are not there, at the Transport Union. We are very concerned about Group 5, which are presented to Mr. Speaker for publication, to the general public to make their comments. That's why I instructed you. Concern from also the civil society. And in fact, colleagues, if your paper you have in front of you, the government was key from cabinet conclusion, from cabinet proposals. There must be awareness to talk to our people about this new increment involving civil society and other major players. I think we are in the same trajectory to make sure that we have a proper debate or proper ratification followed by the dictates of what we have ratified in 2015. The SRA we are so open up to talk about transparency of the data, which we acknowledge. And Mr. Minister took note of that. All of us. As I said in previous debates, there is no perfect agreement. And Mr. Speaker said, we cannot ignore the ratified agreement. In front of Parliament since 2015. Government is continuity. We should act responsibly and move in a direction that will bring all grievances on the table and we'll discuss them. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for referring this issue to the Works Committee. Because of these allegations, these are talking about now, these ones we have now, about the charges. because of these enormous allegations, as the chairman of the supervisory committee, which our mandate to make sure committee functions the best way they can. We again call on we instruct with your leave, Mr. Speaker, the Works Committee to look into some of these allegations, to look into them so that Parliament can have a proper view of what is happening. On this agreement dealing with the two is so we can just inform the public that this is the right thing to do. Mr. Speaker, I will not stop admiring members of Parliament from the 50th to the 60th in we charting out our differences to come to consensus to have a proposal that the people appreciate us. I will not stop admiring you with the pressure we put on you always. Something happened when I was in the office and we laughed over it. I see what you're doing through from colleagues. It's not an easy job. Somebody said SO2 is if speaker definition of youth person based on your activities. It means by inference, conclusion that a youth man will get a speaker. The parliament is bad. I'm not talking about Google server activities. I'm talking about rare activities in the mind. Mr. Speaker, I want to commend you and say thank you very much for this wise decision you have taken. I'm taking you from your comfort zone. I went with you in the committee room one. The environment was not that conducive enough because the temperature was high. I want to say thank you, Mr. Minister, for showing understanding and also the public. I want to salute you. Colleagues, can we just have a table for the drivers and the public for their understanding? In this business, I don't want people to go outside their chicken on an APC, SFP business. I don't want people to talk about that. We can go after you as Parliament. I said we have enormous power, but we don't misuse our powers. And we don't intend to use them excessively. We want to be a moderate Parliament, as a progressive Parliament. The Paramount chiefs have been observing us quietly. One of them told me, SO2, when I take one time, when I discuss this thing to myself, when I let them talk on social media. Paramount chiefs, you are the arbiter of what we do here. I want to say thank you very much. Thank you very much. When you speak the words from our ancestors. When you speak for our people who we don't see, but you see them always. May the Lord bless you. May the Lord continue to be with us. Thank you. All my colleagues, those who have been posting on social media their passion, the innuendos, I think I've come to a doorstep where today Mr. Speaker has given his ruling and Mr. Minister has also been with us to show understanding. Mr. Minister, reach out to the investors. The agreement is an agreement. It is an agreement. We are not trying to the table, but we don't want to live with it. In the interest of all of us, I will end the state, the people, and the investors. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
I thank both the leader of the opposition and the leader of government business for their statements. Any announcements? Mr. Minister, you are now at liberty to leave the chair, but not to leave the precincts of Parliament. Without saying
it's the same following announcement.
Yes, sir.
The office of the Clerk of Parliament wishes to inform all honorable members and the general public that there will be a pre-legislative hearing on the bill entitled the Anti-Money Laundering and Combating of Financing of Terrorism and Financing the Proliferation of Weapons of Mass Destruction Act 2023.